Let's talk about time trial effort for physical conditioning, but with a twist. Ever wonder how much slower is a gravel bike on the road? We want to test a road bike versus a gravel bike for speed. Could we keep up on a group ride on the road if you were riding a gravel bike? Or are they just too draggy? Gravel bikes are all the rage right now, and for some riders, could make the ideal one-bike garage. It means many of us, myself included, spend a fair chunk of time riding our gravel bikes on the road. But how much do they lose out to a pure road bike setup when it comes to speed? This month we decided to add more stress to our legs, in addition to riding big gears by going on fat tires. Theoretically, this will add twice the stress to our legs that would, perhaps, give us value for time in conditioning ourselves for the road events ahead. We plan to join triathlons again, so this next few months we need to shift into time trials. Triathletes may ride time trial bikes and race against the clock, but because we always have a run to do afterwards, we'll never reach our highest level of effort within a triathlon. But reaching your max sustained effort has a multitude of training benefits, which is why many coaches advocate for time trials. The bike segment in triathlon is a time trial, and athletes who learn how to evenly spread their energy throughout the distance will come out ahead. But not every triathlete time trials in training. Cycling time trials can help your training for these reasons. Number 1. Professional cyclists use motor pacing for the neuromuscular training effect and pure speed component. But for less experienced riders, and those who don't have a friend with a scooter like me, the mentality of myself chasing another rider is similar in a TT. Number 2. Dedicated aero practice. It's easy to fidget and sit upright for a few seconds during training, but time trials teach you to deal with the discomfort created by riding at race pace and staying in the aero posture the entire time. Number 3. Realistic race simulation. Many triathletes ride in groups for safety and comradeship, which adds a lot of fun to training. But on race day, we are all alone with our bike and need to face the wind without the protection from our training mates. Number 4. Mental strength test. The mental side of riding at that steady intensity is just as important as the physical side. Treat a time trial as a practice run for visualization and motivational techniques that you can call upon in your next triathlon. We are very fortunate that my friends and I have access to roads with little to light traffic. This allows everyone to ride in confidence without the fear of getting run over. This is the primary reason why we organize our community learning rides and biomechanics certification in Clark, because our leaders appreciated the value of health and the seamless planning of making riders and drivers coexist. Work with your local leaders and highlight the numerous advantages of a healthy community. As for today's workout, we were extremely fortunate to have been able to ride with our friend Piolo, who took the responsibility to push us. We definitely had a bucket of sweat, and these gravel tires made a 40 kilometers ride feel like 100. Remember, always value quality miles over quantity. It will keep you fresh and allow you to enjoy our sport until you reach my age. Almost ticking my 4th decade soon. Now let's go on a tangent. After that long chase to catch Piolo, you notice that we now shifted our time trial session to master another skill called drafting. In competitive sports, optimizing performance is always the key. An interesting venue to explore is to consider drafting as a pacing strategy. There is a magnitude of drafting benefits for biomechanical, physiological, and psychobiological parameters in and between athletes in cycling, running, and swimming. Drafting and cycling is one of the many benefits to riding in a group. You can go faster than you would otherwise on your own. You get the rush from the speed as well as the motivation from all the other riders around you, especially if you form what is called a pace line. Some riders do nothing but group rides where they consistently get to draft, while other riders ride on their own. In terms of what's more fun, that's your personal preference. However, getting to experience both can go a long way in making you a better cyclist. You may think that all sitting on a wheel does for you is to allow you to pedal easier. While this is true under certain circumstances, such as sitting on a wheel for an endurance or easy ride, you can also ride much harder while drafting when the group is going full tilt. You will have more periods of time where you are soft pedaling or coasting, but that will then be followed with pedaling harder than you otherwise would. The more you cycle in a group, the more your muscles are going to get used to this type of riding. In addition to getting used to it, you are also going to generate more speed in your legs. Your legs will simply be used to pedaling faster. When riding on your own, this translates to faster speeds. Your muscles adapt to the load that they're placed under. If you ride at a steady effort all day, then your legs will get really good at that. But when you try and go harder, your legs aren't used to the effort and can't do it again and again. Building the muscle fibers to be able to handle the up and down efforts will help your cycling all around. Consider the psychological benefits. Drafting and cycling on group rides or in races also plays tricks on your mind. Have you ever gone out and ridden on your own, perhaps to a group ride, and felt like you couldn't push yourself? And then when you get on a group ride, you feel like Superman or Superwoman? This is because 90% of riding is mental. Your brain tells your body what to do, and your brain tells you how your legs feel. The other people in the group, along with the speed and rush, gives your brain an added jolt of adrenaline and epinephrine, which gives you an extra edge along with feeling good mentally. This psychological switch when you're riding in a group is very difficult to simulate on your own. Upbeat music can get you part way, but riding with others will always bring out your best performance. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for spending your 6 minutes with us. I hope you get to join our free learning activities when you find yourself visiting our backyard.